Hello, and welcome to Support for Worried Homeschooling Parents, a place dedicated to supporting and reassuring you on your home education journey. If you've clicked on this video, you're probably feeling uncertain, nervous, maybe even anxious about taking a step into home education and pulling your child out of traditional school. There are so many worries, questions, and doubts. Let's take a look at some of these concerns together. Today, we're going to talk about the incredible power of music in your child's learning journey and why letting curiosity lead the way can be the best thing you ever do. Let's start with music. Now, you might be thinking, I can't even play the recorder, how can I teach music? But here it is. You don't have to be musical to bring music into your home. What matters is creating an environment where music is part of life. Music is a universal language. It's been with us since the dawn of humanity. Think of ancient drums, lullabies, and the songs that mark every culture's celebrations and sorrows. You don't need to know anything about music, you just need to open the door to it. Nietzsche said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star." If your child is like my children, and they love music maybe more than the idea of maths or science, then I have a trick or two for you. You see, learning music teaches children a lot of very valuable things, which we will go into shortly. But also, learning about music can actually lead children to a lot of learning and interests in other areas. It can be the gateway to learning. My boys are now well on their home educating journey and approaching young manhood. They started out on their journeys a number of years ago now. After the very important period of deschooling, they were, shall we say, not very motivated to go back to multiplying decimals and algebra. They were much more interested in listening to music and playing their Xbox. I decided not to challenge the Xbox, as they both felt strongly about their time playing on it, and it was 2 against 1. So being a much more experienced rider on this roller coaster, I decided to wait. The Xbox time would take care of itself if I could get their interest sparked in other areas. I began to notice their brains had woken back up after deschooling them. They had become inquisitive at meal times when driving, times when we had actually managed to get them off their computer games. We noticed they had both taken an interest in the music their mother and I listened to, mainly rap, grunge and rock music from the 90s, because they simply haven't made any decent music since then. Harsh maybe, but that is what they were exposed to. They started to ask questions about the lifestyles and meanings of some of the things in the rap songs, delving into class, society, and the condition of low-income areas. This woke them up to disparity, class division, and it wasn't too long before questions about politics and society started to follow. We of course rushed to facilitate this new child-led learning, and as soon as we did, they started to ask and become curious about politics and societies, past and present, all over the world. And this is just one specific example. Now, my oldest son wore more than a few teachers out. He would not write. The teachers tried, we tried, it was impossible. He was distressed, compressed, defeated, and completely shut down to writing due to constant negative feedback, not being able to keep up or spell. After a journey through music, on which he's still very much a traveller, he discovered a love for song meanings, lyrics, self-expression. First it was rappers, but then he found the music of Linkin Park and the writings of the late Chester Bennington. The first time I walked into his room and found him, sat writing, self-motivated, with a pen, confirmed to me that music both has powers to soothe the savage beast and is indeed a gateway to learning. He now writes self-motivated for hours a day. When they were at school, when asked how their music lesson had gone that day, we were invariably met with eye rolls, grunts, and groans. Nietzsche said, "Without music, life would be a mistake." Albert Einstein once said, If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. A study published in the journal Nature found that children who received music lessons showed greater increases in IQ compared to those who didn't. Music helps with memory, attention, and the vital skill, maybe not nurtured as well in traditional schools: emotional intelligence. Studies in music psychology and therapy have shown that engaging with music refines children's ability to recognize, interpret, and regulate emotions. Musical activities stimulate multiple brain regions responsible for emotional and social processing, especially the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, helping children modulate stress and boost mood regulation. Research by Susan Hallam, 2010, underscores that early musical engagement helps children better identify and express feelings, laying the groundwork for emotional intelligence. Systematic reviews further confirm that music not only supports emotional literacy, but also enhances academic performance and pro-social skills like empathy and cooperation. Philosophers often see music as a universal language of emotion. Plato wrote, "Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination," reminding us that music can shape virtue and emotional character. This idea is echoed today. Musical participation fosters inner growth, emotional flexibility, and resilience, encouraging children to understand and express their feelings with clarity and compassion. Improvising music lets children safely explore and communicate feelings beyond words. It increases emotional awareness and creativity. Performing with others cultivates teamwork, social bonds, and respect for different perspectives. Children learn to listen, adapt, and respond, skills invaluable for emotional intelligence. Children who engage in music tend to be more emotionally self-aware, better at handling stress, and skilled in expressing empathy towards others. Music therapy and education offer safe channels for exploring grief, anxiety, and joy, creating lifelong tools for resilience and well-being. Fostering musical experiences for children isn't just fun, it's a philosophical and scientifically backed way to help them grow into emotionally intelligent, compassionate, and adaptable individuals, empowered to navigate life's highs and lows with harmony and grace. Music also fosters neuroplasticity, our brain's remarkable ability to adapt and form new connections. This makes it an ideal path for personal growth at any age, strengthening skills needed in life. Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, said, "Music reinforces your confidence in the ability to create something, pushing you to look beyond what currently exists and express yourself in a new way." Think about Eminem. He didn't receive formal music training, but his curiosity and relentless self-teaching led him to become one of the most influential artists in modern music. His lyrics and style are now studied not just for their musicality, but also their impact on language, storytelling, and cultural movements. Jimi Hendrix didn't just teach himself to play guitar, he reinvented the way the guitar was played. Hendrix couldn't read music and started with a one-string ukulele he found by chance. Through intense listening, copying blues legends like Muddy Waters and sheer obsession, he developed a revolutionary style that changed rock forever. Hendrix once said, "Sometimes you get so frustrated you want to quit, but if you stick with it, you're rewarded." His story shows that passion and persistence create original greatness. Prince was another self-taught prodigy. Though briefly exposed to piano lessons as a child, he quickly abandoned formal training in favor of experimentation. By his teens, Prince mastered guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards on his own. He famously played every instrument on his debut album, driven by instinct and creativity rather than theory. Prince believed that learning every aspect of music and trusting your ear leads to longevity and authentic artistry. Noel Gallagher of Oasis began learning guitar in a probation center at 13. Without formal lessons, he mimicked songs from the radio and relied on his ear. He said, "I still have never taken a music lesson in my life. I just thought it was a nice thing to pass the time away." Dave Grohl, founder of Foo Fighters and former drummer in the Great Nirvana, took only one drum lesson before deciding he could improve faster with self-teaching. His drive and curiosity now fuel decades of musical success, showing how initiative can trump formal lessons. Tyler Joseph, lead of 21 Pilots, was on track for a basketball scholarship. Inspired by a live band, he taught himself piano and started recording at home. His curiosity ignited the path to Grammy wins and worldwide acclaim, demonstrating how following passion can rewrite life's plans. Learning music in your own way can lead to originality, confidence, and success beyond expectations. Mistakes, frustrations, and play are part of every great artist's journey. Music remains a dynamic lens into history today. When a young person explores hip-hop, they're delving into the rhythms and stories of urban life, reflecting movements for social change and the voices of marginalized communities. Billie Eilish writes songs in her bedroom with her brother. Her music speaks to millions of young people about anxiety, hope, and the struggles of growing up. She's proof that you don't need a fancy studio or a degree to make music that matters. As Nietzsche so beautifully reminds us, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. What he calls chaos is not just disorder, but the raw, untamed potential within every one of us. The emotions, questions, creative bursts, and the messy, wonderful confusion that comes with growth and discovery. It is from this inner chaos, this vibrant energy that often feels unpredictable or overwhelming, that your child's unique brilliance, their dancing star, will emerge. Music, with its rhythms and stories, becomes a trusted companion on your shared journey, offering not just skills, but a way to understand emotions, discover history, and unlock questions about the world and themselves. Like my oldest son finding his way through lyrics and writing after years of struggle, music can soothe, inspire, and ignite learning when many doors seem closed. A reminder that learning is not a straight line, but a dance, a rhythm with pauses, hesitations, and bursts of creativity. Your child's dance with music is their dance with life itself, so trust this process, embrace the chaos, celebrate the small moments when curiosity sparks, when a question leads to discovery, or when a pen is finally picked up to write. In doing so, you're nurturing not just musicians, but resilient, thoughtful, and creative human beings. If you would like to know more about homeschooling, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, listening, and I hope this video helped a little. Click here to watch another video about some of the main worries surrounding home educating and a little about the very important period known as homeschooling.